Hello, welcome, or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey today. I haven't even actually chosen a deck. I just, the energy was available for me to make this little intro. I'm like, am I going to be an intro girly? Yeah, for the time being. At least for this series of readings, there is going to be an intro. I want to set intentions at the beginning, or at least share with you my intention that I always have for every single reading that I do, whether it's on YouTube or one-on-one personal readings. I am not psychic. I am not claiming to be. I do know these cards. And my intention is for the message to come through me, not from me. For your highest good, for my highest good. We're just two friends reading tarot together. So anyway, I do also try to share the meaning of each card because you have your own intuition, and obviously you're the person that's involved in your own life, right? So I share the meaning of each card so that you can discern, you can listen to your own guidance around each card for sorry, I closed my eyes and all of a sudden I got lost. I am naturally a blonde. I immediately heard blonde moment. Anyway, I closed my eyes and I got lost. Bro. Anyway, okay. So yeah, you have your own intuition. You're the one, right, that's involved in your own life. I want you to know the meanings of each card so that you can also receive your own message, right? Listen to yourself. The whole reason I even give tarot readings is for you to return to yourself, for you to listen to yourself, which is why I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know already, right? I'm more than likely confirming or affirming things for you. No doubt your intuition is see, told you. But also, I do think that is important. I think that's an important part because once you know for sure, right? Once you have that confirmation, it's that you can free up the energy for what's next. You have confirmation. Now what? Right? Now what? So I haven't even really chosen a deck yet. Did I say that? This is a deck that I was thinking of in my mind's eye. Let's see if it even wants to do the reading or not. Do you want to do the tarot readings? Yeah, okay. That was the Ace of Cups. I do that for every reading too. Consent over here. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would absolutely love it if you did, because honestly, community is becoming a big thing for me in what's next for me. So let's get on to the reading. Great. So this is a reading for the 6-3 human design profile, the role model martyr. I feel is the video crooked? Or am I cross-eyed? Honestly, I don't know. But anyway, if you don't know your human design profile, there is a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph. And one of the bits of information pertaining to your specific design will be your profile. You don't have to know anything about human design for this message to resonate. This really is just meant to be an additional avenue for you to receive information or to receive a message. How many cards is this? 5? Okay. What? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know. We have the 8 of Swords, the Sun card, Knight of Cups, Four of Cups. Interesting. The Star card. You know, like before I even sat down to like start doing this reading, I was actually like really excited. Like I just kind of felt, just felt excited to do the reading, of course, always. But it was just like, I don't know. I don't know, if there is something that you are excited about, if you are even looking for excitement. We haven't even looked. We have the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Just kind of maybe feeling a little, I don't know, like almost maybe even feeling like that's lacking. I don't know. I think this is probably as good as it's going to get for where these cards are. I don't know why I keep even messing with them, but it's interesting because we start with the Eight of Swords, and then we have like all of these more joyful, lighthearted, happy cards behind it. So I don't know, like, let's dig into the Eight of Swords energy. That to me is a self-inflicted mind prison. Sounds so dramatic. And I guess it kind of is. Swords have to do with our minds, right? It's our mindset, our belief systems, our perception of reality. Swords also have to do with truth and honesty, but like divine truth, divine honesty, which basically just means absent of feelings, absent of opinions. It really is just the facts, which is a little justice cardy. Like, what can be proven to be true, right? I do also see swords as being the suit of ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds. And our egos are created by the stories that we attach to experiences, feelings, circumstances, right? Like something happens, we attach a story to it, which then becomes our belief system. It becomes our personality, our temperament. It becomes the reasons why we don't do other things. Even, it develops the filters that, we consume our lives, right? Like we're living our lives, and, the whatever we are consuming goes through the filter of our ego, and it kicks out a story. That's why you could live in the same house, growing up in the same house with somebody, and you both have different stories, right? Of how that went. So with all of that, being said about the Eight of Swords, I mean, truly, right? Like they're wrapped up here, right? There's a blindfold on them. The message behind the Eight of Swords is that you are one decision away from changing your mind. They could get out of this if they wanted to. It actually almost kind of feels a bit martyrdom-y. Which you do have that third line, which is the martyr, but in the human design realm, that talks more about trial and error, about, bumping up against life, making and breaking bonds. And of course, too, depending on where you are at with your sixth line experience, because there's the 3-tiered thing that only comes with the sixth line, the first 28 to 30 years, it expresses itself as a third line. So for the first 28 to 30 years, you were a 3-3 dude. Then after your Saturn return, you go up on the roof, and that's where you become a bit more observant, a bit more detached, right? Like That third line is still going to pull you down the ladder. But it's kind, like it's more, how do I want to put it? Like intentional, maybe. Like you'll come down the roof to experience this thing, but then you go back up and you unpack it. And then after, when you're in your 50s, is when you come off of the roof in full role model form. Sharing that wisdom, sharing that experience. People recognize it. People appreciate it. They seek it out. I know we're still talking about the Eight of Swords here. And I halfway wonder too, like if you are trying to like get clear on what it is that you want. Like I was saying, like at the beginning, like, there was this excitement and I wonder if you are trying to get clarity on what it is that does excite you. Fun, play. This feels like just being, I don't know, like too serious. And I'm not even sure if that's the right way to put it, but it's like, something has definitely felt like it has wrapped you up. Whatever that is. And this is like a mental thing. Maybe it is a mindset. Maybe it's the way that you are perceiving things. Maybe it's also too that really what is needed here is you're like making a decision to step out of this energy. Because like I said, you are one decision away from change. Like there's that Sugarland song, Settle In. And one of the verses in that is she changed her mind, she changed her life. And what's on the other side of that is the effing Sun card. Like this is literally the change of life. Like this is, the Sun card is everything good. It's joy, it's bliss, happiness. Anytime I see this too, I always mention, like vitamin D, that could be putting you in this. I mean, I feel like I remember reading somewhere that like 80% of people, at least in the United States, are deficient in vitamin D because we just don't go outside as much as we used to. Right? So me personally, I've been literally trying, I bought zero gravity chairs, like comfy chairs, because my little Taurus sun ass, like I want to be comfy. Like I'm literally trying to force myself to go sit outside while I'm just scrolling on my phone, especially in the morning for 15, 20 minutes, whatever, just be in the sun. I'm, scroll on my phone. That's what I'm going to do anyway, but I can at least get some vitamin D at the same time because, vitamin D is essential to hormone production, or balancing, endorphins, like it really does play such a huge role. So get some vitamin D. But also, the Sun card also talks about like literally giving life, because truly we wouldn't even be able to exist on this planet if we weren't in proximity that we are to the sun. It does talk about rebirth. There is like, there's this couple here. So again, it does feel like play. This doesn't feel romantic to me. It can be with a Knight of Cups. That could definitely maybe be something that you feel is lacking or like missing in your life. This could be the motivation, the dream, definitely. And then we have the Knight of Cups, which is like the knight in shining armor of the tarot. Truly, he does look like he's wearing shiny armor. It's actually so interesting because this feels like it could be you. And look at the similarities here. I don't, you tell me if you can see what I feel like the image of this Knight's face could be the same image that they used for the Four of Cups too. And especially, I mean, they're looking in the same direction. Almost level, like almost in the same position on the card too, which is interesting to me. The Knight of Cups talks about offering. Cups having to do with our emotions, love, our relationship to love also, like how do we give it, but more importantly, how do we receive it? Heart chakra, right? Like, and how are we okay, I was going to say how are we experiencing that? But what I meant to say was how do we express that? That's interesting. I mean, how are you experiencing it? This Eight of Swords maybe tells me that it hasn't been all that great. Or even just your perception of how it's going to go with somebody new isn't that great. And I get that. I mean, it's bleak out there. It is bleak out there. Also, empathy, compassion, grace, right? Like all of those things that take like emotional awareness, emotional maturity also. It is a knight, so it is still like kind of, it's out there. It's out there even to trying things, because when we think about knights, right? Like they're the ones that are actually in battle. Like they're the ones on the front lines. So this would be somebody putting themselves out there, and usually it is depicted as the knight offering their cup. So it's explained as an offer coming in to you. That could be romantic, it could be platonic, it could be business, right? It really depends on your situation. It could be you offering something. It could even be an apology. It could be, of course, expressing interest in you, but it is something that feels good emotionally. The Knight of Cups, I almost said the Knight of Hearts. Okay. The Knight of Cups is going to follow their heart. They are going to lead with their intuition. It's almost borderline Delulu. And honestly, it's not a bad thing to have a bit of Delulu. It really isn't. I think, if anything, a lot of us can ramp it up on the delusion. Truly. I think a lot of us, like, the bar is on the fucking floor and it needs to be in the ethers. Like that settle-in song. I ain't settling for anything less than everything. That's what she said. Listen to the song. I'm going to listen to it after I finish this. I love her. But next to that, we have the Four of Cups. Look, you see what I'm saying? Like, it literally looks like this and this same person. And on the Knight of Cups, though, they're in their armor, right? They're out there. Right? I mean, they're out in the open, right? In the Four of Cups, it's like the Homer Simpson thing where he's like backing into the bush, right? Like that's how this Four of Cups feels. It's like this up and down thing happening here. We kind of start with the down, and then we shoot way up, feel really confident about, and truly, maybe you are like putting yourself out there. Maybe you have really tried to put yourself out there, but there has been disappointment, boredom. Nobody, is scratching that itch for you. But we have these Three Cups here. This person, they're not even looking at them. It's almost like they're collecting them, which is kind of an interesting energy because they are full. This is the thing about the Four of Cups, right? I mean, it does talk about lethargy, boredom, just disinterest, apathy, which is interesting because over here we were talking about empathy. And it is, just kind of being dissatisfied with the cups that were offered. But there is this one cup that is, I mean, literally being offered by the universe, by God, by source, divine spirit, by, you know, like your higher self, the other person, energy, whatever, their higher self. And I mean, they are looking right at it. This could come out of the blue. It could come in a way that you didn't expect it. However that is, if this is about a relationship, if this is about a job, if this is about, you know, friendships, whatever, I really don't know. It would really depend on, you know, like your situation and how it's resonating for you. But like I said, it could come out of the effing blue. And what is so cool about it too is that it would be exactly what you wanted. The star card is faith and hope. It's trusting the process. It's also manifesting. Like I see the star card as being literally that space between the 5D up in the ethers, right? Where we co-create, where when we meditate, that's kind of, you know, where we go. Get clear on what it is that we are trying to manifest or actualize in the 3D. And that's the other side. So, you know, it is that space between the 5D and then the 3D where we are. And it's like literally bridging that gap. What is also so incredibly fucking cool to me is that the sun is a star, right? It's the star of our solar system. How cool is that? Tell me, how cool is that we have the two cards out here that could relate to each other because it's like they're literally the same thing. I think that's cool. The 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, Knight of Swords, 10 of Swords, Ace of Swords. Let's see. 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, Knight of Swords, 10 of Swords, Ace of Swords at the bottom. Now, I do think this might actually be relationships. The 6 of Pentacles talks about an equal exchange of energy. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time, our energy, where are we physically showing up in our lives, our health even. Literally anything tangible, anything that you place worth or value on, that's all Pentacles. And like I said, the 6 of Pentacles is an equal exchange of energy, whether that's money, whether that is time, whether, you know, effort, worth. You know, we can see there's one person that has an abundance of something. There is another person who needs something that abundance can offer. Right. And maybe that's been the problem here. Like maybe it has just been that things have not been equal. It could be that somebody in these connections, regardless of what type of connection it is, they are not giving as much as they are receiving. And in whatever capacity that is, whether it is monetarily, whether it is, again, an energy exchange, you know, it could have, again, just something to do with health or like your body. But with the sun card there, it's almost like seeing the light, you know, it's like recognizing too, even your worth and like what you do put into the things that you do. The 3 of Wands is, I kind of love how they're even like looking at the sun card. That's kind of how it looks like to me. Lots of like solar plexus, sacral energy too. More like on the chakra side. I mean, I know we're talking human design here, But just, the Three of Wands is about starting to take action towards a thing. It's also explained as broadening your horizons, or even like your ship coming in is also explained or whatever with the Three of Wands, which to me, like, when your ship's coming in, it's like receiving the information or like that right opportunity to take action towards the thing, right? Like that finally you feel the energy of that, because Wands is about taking action. Even that it is between the Sun card and the Knight of Cups, like this would be literally like the right connection, like somebody that, again, right, like you would feel, or even an opportunity that you would feel like you would want to take action towards. Now we have the Knight of Swords between the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups. Talk about like somebody who's like on the front lines, as opposed to this Knight of Cups who's like just leisurely in the mountains by a river, with their cup, like, again, just kind of more of the delusion versus like the Knight of Swords. It feels more like real life. Being in the thick of it. Like the Knight of Swords is also the fastest moving knight. We have this tower back here that is on fire. It, like the Knight of Swords, right? Like an idea hits them, inspiration hits them, they do receive new information, and they just fucking go. There's not a ton of thought around it. Honest, and I keep getting this feeling too of like not being, like getting used to saying no, like feeling comfortable, feeling like the bad guy. You're not, but we do tend to feel that way. Like it's kind of people pleasery. So it's like getting comfortable with not being a people pleaser. It really feels like to me, like no bullshit, like not, it's like that whole be kind, but take no shit type of thing. That's how this guy feels to me. Like the more that I sit here and look at him. And then we have the Ten of Swords between the Four of Cups and the Star card. Yeah, I mean, there is like a finality here. I also kind of love how this Knight of Swords is looking at this Ten of Swords. This could be a person. This could be this person. This person seems like a different person than this person. How many times have I said person? The chick on the Star card looks like a more mature version of this chick on the Sun card. It could be, no longer giving access to either this type of energy or specifically this person, if there is a person. I truly, like the Ten of Swords is the straw that broke the camel's back. It's the last straw, the last blow. I mean, again, swords having to do with our mind. There truly is like nothing else to consider here in this situation. Whatever started over here in the Eight of Swords. It, like, you have all the evidence. You have everything that you need to make a decision here. And it also feels very fated. The Ace of Swords at the bottom now. Brand new. Inspiration, it's discovering a truth, honoring a truth too, even living that truth. Again, new ideas, inspiration. King of Wands, the king is the highest expression of the suit. And then the Two of Cups behind that. This guy feels like the same guy on the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups. Showing up, offering his cup. Interesting. This was cool. Thank you. Thank you for going on the journey with me. Thank you for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.